White girl in danger. And we not only have a white girl with us tonight, but she is dressed in white. You're really getting into this one, Leslie.
I did this for the show. Okay, really fast. This show was written by Michael R. Jackson, who is the man who wrote Strange Loop. It is an strange and loopy play. It is directed by Liliana Blaine Cruz, who is one of my very favorite directors, and who directed The Skin of Our Teeth, as you remember, so I really love this woman. It is a send-up of all soap operas. It is set in the town of All White, a segregated town. There is the blackground. They are the background actors, and they're all black, so they're called the blackgrounds. I found there were so many odd and funny and wonderful little turns of phrase in this play. But basically, it's not their story, it's Keisha's story. Keisha is a blackground who wants to be an all-white star. And there are three girls. There's a three mean Megan. And they do all sorts of things. And there are three boyfriends, all played by one wonderful actor whom we have met, Eric William Morris. We met him when he was doing Subway Surfers Sleeping with his wife. So that's the story that's going on. Now, in the background of the story, because it is a soap opera, white girls are being killed in the woods. Obviously, you shouldn't go in the woods if that's going on. And Keisha disobeys her mother and does all the wrong things and gets involved with all the wrong boys, and tries very hard to be an all-white, which she cannot be. At the same time, her mother goes from being a lunch lady to being a nurse to being an assistant.
But so she does end up in the front, but that makes her a target of who's ever killing everybody in the woods. Exactly. I should mention this is all on the show, not in real life for her. I'll tell you, I'm not a big soap opera person. I had one year, many years ago, where I kind of got hooked on All My Children for a year. So all the soap opera references, the soap opera plots, didn't make much of an impression on me. More to the point, I could not hear any of Michael R. Jackson's lyrics. The sound system in that theater was horrible. And this is a small, a medium-sized off-Broadway theater, so it's not a large auditorium. I'm sitting in, a really good seat close to the front, and I could not hear the lyrics, which really spoiled the show quite a bit for me. I loved the idea of Keisha trying to break out. I loved watching her evolution and her mother coming out, going from this character to that, and hearing them belt out the songs, because that was the only way I heard any of the lyrics. But I just couldn't get into any of the soap opera stuff. And ultimately, the main plot, which again for me was Keisha trying to come out of the blackground, really wasn't strong enough to hold my interest. So I came out very disappointed with this production, and much as I want to, I cannot recommend it.
Well, when you say can't recommend it, what would you give it?
I would give it like 2.5 playbills. Now I might,
it's not running, so nobody can go see it.
Right. Well, if I could have actually heard the songs, I'm betting I would have liked it better.
I had trouble with the sound system, and I was in like the fourth row, so I agree with you that there is a problem there. But I must say that what it reminded me of most was those early Charles Bush things, like the Vampire Lesbians of Sodom, where everybody got very excited, and it's a combination of that with the soap opera vibe. I don't know much about soap operas. I was on one once. It was in order to get my equity card. That's the only reason I did it. But Jackson has something to say here, as he did in Strange Loop. One of the things he wants is to show people. I mean, there are black characters on every soap opera that's on now. Because
there were black characters on All My Children when I watched it 40 years ago, and one of them actually had a significant story arc.
For Jackson, the most important thing is black is everything. This is a quote from an article in Playbill, and it says black is everything. That's what he's talking about. But he's a little late with this idea for soap operas, because they have black characters and black subplots, and and black doctors, and all of those characters are on soap operas now. I don't watch them, but those characters go on talk shows, and they're all from these various soap operas. So I think that it may be, even though it's a brand new, bright, popular play, it may be a little old-fashioned.
Or maybe it would have been better if it had been set 20 years in the past.
That might have been better too, if it had been before.
Because then he really could have gotten into soap operas, with the organs and the...
Exactly. So what I loved about it was the energy. I'm giving it a 3 because I enjoyed it, and because it had an energy, and it had an energy like in that old Van Johnson and Judy Garland movie Summer Stock, where everybody gets in the barn and they actually put on a show, that kind of thing. Or it goes back to Mickey and Judy. It had that kind of energy, and I like that energy. You don't see that. You will see it on Shuck. That's the other show this year that has that, and we'll be talking about that on another show. But I did like this much more than you did, I think.
Okay. And that is our show for this evening, our first show back at Manhattan Neighborhood Network. And
well, you're there.
I'm here. You're I'm sure
I will get there.
We will get you there eventually. And when you go to the theater, look for Leslie and me, us too,
on the aisle.